Right, so I just got home and so today I was drawing some designs of, what a government funded Hampture could look like. If we had just unlimited resources, could do whatever the fuck we want. And this was a rough draft, but it sort of got sidetracked with an interesting idea that is the topic of this video. So the main idea for this box was this symbolizes the flotation devices of the power sources and stuff. That would be connecting wires. You would have a waterproof tube that you would run the wires through, so you don't electrocute everything. And then you would have run through here, which would be a connector. There'd be light. Wires would also run down to here, which would be an instrument box to show oxygen levels both down here and up there, because carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen, so you want to get a reading of both. That way you don't accidentally think everything's fine and then your hamster dies. This would be the main air supply. You'd have a tube going down. That would be supplying oxygen. I didn't put in the place where you would be venting out air yet, but that would probably end up going on this side, to be honest. It would just be a system. There would be a one-way valve, so it would be slowly releasing air into the water. So this was the part where I got sidetracked, right? So I wanted the top to be free, so I decided to have the opening on the bottom. So my original idea was just to have these, which are basically representative of clasps, like on a fishing box, on a tackle box. It would have two here, two there, two on the back, and two on that side, which is still pretty secure. Then I came up with this little thing, and I'll show you more of what that is here. So, pardon my extremely bad handwriting. I'm not very good at it. So it's a pneumatic lock control. Here's a, good view of what it is. So basically this part right here, that's a groove that allows it to slide. What you would do is, there'd be a lock about right there, optional lock loop obviously, and that would keep this pin in place. You would take off the lock, pull out the pin, and that would allow this piece right here, to slide backwards, which exposes that little thing, which is basically like the little rubber seals you find on basketballs, that are very good at allowing a needle to go in to release or put more air in. You can see just a sort of idea of what it would look like working. There's it closed with the pin in and that part closed. Here is it with the pin pulled out and that part slid back. So basically, it would allow you to have a nice little pneumatic system, and then the way you would operate it is with this little dude I made. So basically, this part has two pieces that you connect together. So this part is just a standard needle of some gauge, haven't yet figured that out. And this thing itself is its own piece. It unscrews from this. So if you wanted to unlock the pneumatic lock system, you would basically, you'd pull out the pin, push that over here, and then you would put this thing inside, and that would allow air to come in, which would relieve the vacuum that it would hold it in place. To create the vacuum, you screw this part onto the needle. Obviously you open up the little latch thing that I showed you, and what you do, you would connect that actually to a vacuum cleaner and suck the air out of the area. And you may ask, well, now you're just going to be sucking air, so how the fuck does that work? And it works because, where the hell did I put it? Here it is. It works by, essentially you would have a large amount of rubber in this area. And what that would do is that when the air is sucked out through there, the rubber would be pulled inwards to essentially, fill the void. And if you create a completely vacuum space, the rubber will be extremely tightly held between both this part and that part, which would create a completely airtight seal. I mean, if you've ever had like a serious goddamn vacuum seal and you've tried to force it apart, it is ridiculously hard. You would actually need to, there would be no way that nature would open it. You would have to go there with the intent to sabotage it to break this seal. And that's the good part about this, is that even if that seal did get broken, it still does have all the clasps, and it works in tandem, sort of, so they're all backups of each other to keep the hamster knot safe. So yeah, this is what I've been working on today, was creating this. It would obviously need to be 3D printed in some form, probably. You could probably make it out of scrap metal if you really wanted, but that's up to you. There's my dog. Yeah, she's very excited to have hamsters. But yeah, so that's what this entire thing would be. It'd be, a nice system. And what you could do with this, you could take this a step further than just being, a simple lock mechanism for one box. You could technically, if you were making a mega hab, which would be an entire city, you could copy this pneumatic system onto different boxes and tubes and have it be a connection piece. It would be sort of like Legos, which I have a lot of. It'd be essentially, if you want to add something on, it'd be, you just connect it, tighten the pneumatic seal, and then you're ready to go. So that'd be an ideal way to do things, because just about nothing in nature is stronger than a vacuum. So I mean, if you've ever seen a Delta P, I think they're called, they suck shit in, and it's not pretty. But yeah, so you could theoretically make an entire massive system, a massive city, out of multiple small pieces that you connect together using this. And it would make it far easier to carry around, because a large part of the mega habs would be, just getting it in place, transporting it, and then maintenance. If one piece gets dirty or breaks, you would want to replace it without having to like saw it off of the entire rest of the thing. And this would allow you just to, pop it off and replace it. Of course, then you would also need some sort of hatch that you could close, but to be fair, if you can make a pneumatic seal, I'm pretty certain you can make a hatch that you can close. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you, and yeah.